NYC to LIB. The song is dedicated to David Waterby. Open school for the deaf. Your passion inspires us all. Let's go.
You can throw with your hands up and listen with your eyes up. Then you will realize that I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you,
The fact is that we all are the same, and it's nice. We all be treated the same. Recognize me, take me as a friend. We can dance and play with opportunity and chance. I know I'm deaf, I know I can hear. We can change the world, it doesn't matter of my life. Recognize me, don't criticize me. The truth is that I can do it for my people. They are the future, give them attention. Provide the chance for more innovation. Just like you, I can do the thing you do. I'm important, what's it and discuss me? We not understand, develop before. All we need is only one love. All we need is only one love.
you can throw with your hands up and listen with your eyes up. Then you will realize that I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you,
No, I
oh.
can't hear, but yes, I can see. And what I see is that you don't see me. You might not understand the movement of my hands, but you need to understand I still got a plan. I still got a dream. I want to be seen. I will be seen. And dreams come true. And not just for you. If I persevere, I'm into that life as if I can hear. Death and what? That ain't what's up. Boy, don't let that spill out your cup. Boy, I'd advise you to pick that up. They calling me dumb boy, for what? Better change that. That's a fact. I got skills you can't imagine, black. I talk with my hands. Listen with my eyes. Time to realize
I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh. If you are president, I'm just like you. If you are director, I'm just like you. If you are minister, I'm just like you. If you are policeman, I'm just like you, oh, oh. I'm just like you, oh, oh. I'm just like you.
Yeah, man, Liberian people, man, we got to talk about it because it's important. Because the people then, not because they say the people can hear, so that means they're not important in the society. No, you got to call them to decision making. You understand? So that whole hand, only thing we need is that one love, yeah? All we need is only one love. All we need is only one love.
If you can talk with your hands up and listen with your eyes up, then you will realize that I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, oh. 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 I'm just like you,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. We woke up this morning to low 40 degrees, nice in Rhode Island. It's a kind of a little rainy right now, but just hang on, it's going to clear up it's not going to get sunny. It's going to get cloudy. But the rain is going to dissipate, and we ain't going to have no more rain. So the day, though cloudy, may look good. Hang in there, okay? We also have news, sad news about Roe versus Wade. The abortion law, ROE versus WADE, Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court is about to nix that law. They want to overturn it. They don't believe it is a viable law that serves the public. So majority on the Supreme Court thinking about overturning Roe v. Wade. But for us in Rhode Island and other states that like to protect women's rights, because when Roe v. Wade is overturned sooner or later, abortion becomes illegal in 12 states. 12 states cannot have abortion, you go to jail. So those states have to pass laws to protect women's health and rights. And fortunately, for my state, the state of Rhode Island, we are always proactive. And when Gina Raimondo who is the Secretary of State of the United States of America now, she was governor of Rhode Island, she ensured to put into law that women were to be protected. Their health and rights were to be protected. So when this law, Roe v. Wade, is abolished, women in Rhode Island will be protected because of the proactive measures and law taken and passed by Gina Raimondo. So kudos, Gina. You got Rhode Island hanging in there. And our Governor McKee made the statement that, hey, in Rhode Island, women's rights are always protected. Okay? So that's it for my state where we protect everybody. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Cicilline, Congressman Cicilline suggested that they pass the Women's Health Protection Act in those 12 states where abortion law would be abolished when Roe v. Wade is abolished. Okay, I mean, abortion rights would be abolished when Roe v. Wade is abolished. So Cicilline came up with a suggestion that these states must implement the Women's Health Protection Act immediately to protect women's rights. Okay, so today the temperature will be up to 50, 58, 59 degrees up there, way up there. So although we're starting light, it's going to be a little warm and nice, but just cloudy. Okay, so that's it. My topics for the day are, let them just come around. Let me deal with my topics and we'll deal with the Liberian issues when I come back home. Today's topics are: 1, when the law is disorderly and lawless. 2, collaborating political parties, CPP, Saga, Joseph Boakai, from statesman to states witness. And 3, Buduburam refugee camp Liberian community in Ghana. So let me just take a sip of my coffee, take a music break, and I'll be back to talk to you. Hey, I'm just practicing. Have a good morning. Let's do that. good to be back. And let's start with my first topic. When the law is disorderly and lawless. We can see right now in the Republic of Liberia, there's a brewing problem between the Minister of Justice and his Solicitor General, Mr. Serena Cephas. The Solicitor General Musadin and his Solicitor General Serena Cephas. This is causing a great problem because just like in 1980, before the 1980 coup, our justice ministry had a problem. My father was Attorney General, and there was a fuss between my father and the Director of Police. Something was brewing there that the police director wanted autonomy, and the director and the Minister of Justice did not support autonomy for the police at that time. So there was this brewing conflict between them. And because of that, Talbot always came up and said, look, let's resolve the issues, let's put this to rest, and all of that. But still, this problem brewed. It brewed. And eventually, the security system and network broke down, became ineffective. And because of that, the 1980 coup occurred. Our country was destroyed. And from all indications, this is a repeat of the 1980. We keep telling you, weird behavior, his actions, the action of the people around him, all of that indicate the same repetition of the things that happened in 1980. They're beginning to repeat themselves. And when people begin to warn us, hey, take heed and govern yourselves accordingly, take heed and govern yourselves, you need to pay attention. Because sooner or later, when the truth reveals itself, and you have not taken the precaution or taken heed to govern yourself accordingly, things happen. Things happen. And many times, they're not good things. People's lives are changed radically. Situations in the country are overturned radically. And all these things create instability, total instability, unrest in the country. And people lose lives. People lose properties and valuable things. You can't get back. You can't get back. So to avoid all these things, our leaders need to take the necessary precautions, need to act within the boundaries of the law, need to behave themselves as responsible men and women and leaders of a wholesome functioning society. So this is where we are again. You know, when we have the Justice Minister and his Solicitor General can't agree, the Solicitor General wants to be more powerful than his boss, who is the Minister of Justice, and they're having conflicts back and forth, and there's nobody to resolve the issue. The president can't talk. The president is silent on the issue. He doesn't know whether to intervene or to stay out of it. And this is the same thing we saw, and we saw with the CPP that broke it down severely. When there was problem brewing in the CPP, there was nobody to talk. Boakai wasn't talking. Boakai wasn't putting an end to the shenanigans and craziness that were going on. So that way the CPP is where it is today, because there was no leadership. And this is the same thing we see in our country. when our ministry heads are fussing and fighting among themselves, especially those who are in the security realm that are supposed to maintain the peace and security of the nation, are fussing among themselves. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. How do we deal with these issues? How do we deal with these issues? It doesn't help the country. It doesn't help the situation in the country. So here we are. The law is disorderly. They're acting lawless. The Solicitor General now handling the case with the CPP. And the last time we heard, the minister was calling for all the records to review them for that case, from that case. And this brought some issue between the two of them. Because the Solicitor General wanted to know why the minister wanted to take oversight of his case. And the minister was saying, hey, I have a right to do that. That's my job. You work for me. You work under me. So that's where we are the last time, just last week or the week before last. And we heard it on the radio. The local radio not hiding it. Just day before yesterday, Wiki Brooks and Italian VAR were talking about the same thing, about the brewing problem between the Minister of Justice and his Solicitor General because of this one case with the CPP. So this is where we are. Our country is on the verge of instability. When our Minister and Solicitor General begin to fuss among themselves, there's a brewing problem. And it doesn't end there. It reflects all over the country. All over the country. You got lawless acts, murders, rapes. There was just another ritualistic killing of a little boy the other day, a little popular boy. And when you kill the popular children, it creates problem in the community because they are well known. And we got to deal with all the hurt and the pain that we see in the community. Lamenting of the mothers and the girlfriends, the girls, the women. You know, it brings back all these things on the society itself. How do we deal with these things? But this what happened when our leadership is weak, when our leadership take their position for granted, when our leadership don't realize the magnitude of responsibility they have to maintain law and order in our country. And this is what we boil down to again. So I hope these people come to the realization that our country's security is at risk. And they need to take heed and govern themselves accordingly. Now, yesterday we were talking about this CPP case with the Liberty Party, and people wanted to know. Henry Costa and all of them were coming up about, they were on Spoon TV yesterday. I had a show on my show where they were talking about the decision of Justice James Etta Buduburam and the Liberty Party situation. Their saga, where normally Congress fashion petition the court to prohibit Musa Belete session from proceeding and doing what they want to do because of the disagreement they got going on right now brewing the party. So the judge made a decision that within 72 hours, something was supposed to happen. Yesterday was a big debate about it. Senator Darren Dillard got on, said he was talking common English, telling all the people, explaining to people how and the judge wanted to pull the false document, all that excuse me. And the funny part about it, I was reading it in the front page Africa and just laughing because there's the same direct general who is in court with the same responsibility for millions of dollars for defamation of character. And here he is telling the people that Musa Belede filed a false document, and they want to pull that false document out and put the real document in because that's not the right document. So that was Senator Darius Dillon's simple English. So he went on explaining it, but I don't know why Front Page Africa didn't get the courts, the judges' decision yesterday to publish it. Because equal had gone to the court and gotten it. Because they say it takes just a few hours for the clerk to type it. So it becomes public. Unless it's still not public. Unless it takes a week, because everything backwards in Liberia. What takes 2 days here, it takes 5 days, 10 days in Africa. So I guess we're still waiting for that. But according to Front Page Africa, what the judge instructed the NEC to do was to provide evidence, because the conflict between this party is the conventions and the filing of the document. There are 2 conventions involved. One was the December convention, and the other was a January convention. The December convention was the convention that the party was together. Nomdi Kanga was the leader, Musa Belete was the chairman, and Senator Dillon, all of them were together. So they made resolutions to amend Article 7 of the Liberty Party constitution that deals with leadership. The leadership that deals with the political leader and the chairman of the party, their role. They amended the rule, and that was Article 7. So coming out of the convention, the chairman was supposed to take the amendment, carry it forth, and make the requisite amendments and file the documents, which Musa Belete claimed he did. That after the convention, he met with the National Committee, and the National Committee met with some other committee, and they finalized everything, and he filed it. So Nomdi Kanga and saying, no, that's not it, it's something else. So according to Front Page Africa, they say from a reliable source, the judge ruled that they want to see evidence of the document to ensure that Musa Belete made the changes that were discussed and made during the December 2021 convention of the Liberty Party. At that convention, they made the decisions, they made a framework memorandum enshrining all their decisions into that memorandum. And he gave it to the chairman to file. So it was that memorandum that he was supposed to take and make changes based on that memorandum and file the Constitution with the NEC. So the judge, all the judge wants to know is she wants the NEC to provide evidence that Musa Belete, who is the chairman, did in fact make the framework memorandum corrections that were supposed to be made before filing the document. And if he did, then there is no need to withdraw that document. But if he didn't, then they need to re-update it. They need to pull it out, update it, and refile it. So wherever that framework memorandum said, if Musa Belete included it in a document that he filed with the NEC, then there will be no need to withdraw it. But if Musa Belete did not include the framework memorandum discussions into that framework, into the Constitution, then it needs to be updated. So that's what the judge ruling is. And on the other man, I think another man filed a petition along with this that the judge addressed to Mr. Zango, I think. He ran for opposition and all, and he's claiming also that the December document is not good and all of that. He claiming one of the documents is not right. But the judge said, I'm not even paying attention to you because you ran for opposition under that same framework document and lost. So you can't come back here and say that thing is not legal when you participated under it for opposition. So what will happen if you have won? You still say it's not illegal? So that way her case was, she said she's not even entertaining that. But as for Musa Belete and other people, she just want to see that whether or not Musa Belete included the memorandum framework document that will discuss and finalize at the December 2021 convention. So that's where we are. So I don't know when this 72-hour end. I think it ends today. So they might be going to court this morning, already being in court right now. So we'll take it from there. Okay, that's where we stand on that. So, and in the courtroom, that's my second case. But that's the situation we normally come. And this is the situation going on counter between our law enforcers, that they're forcing among themselves, and they're supposed to be taking care of national security and the interests of Liberian people. So that's my first topic for this morning. And although I included normally Kanga there, I'm still talking about the CPP saga in my next topic. So let me take a break, and I'll come back and we'll proceed. Okay? Let me just get this right, folks. Okay, folks, let me just get this right. Then we'll get my show going because, yes, okay. I see where I am now. Let me just get it going.
Benin Ure is also here. So coming up, they are opening the vehicle. Here comes the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Ambassador Joseph. also have the former vice president, and he's going for a visitation. And after here, the former vice president will come right back. Come right back for the appearance. You want Boakai is along with they are all today Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai came to court, but he did not appear to testify. He had to go back home, get ready for Wednesday when the is by the National Elections Commission. The National Elections Commission is expected to produce on Wednesday, and they will be brought here by the chairperson of the National Elections Commission. So this is the Ambassador Joseph Boakai. In the next couple of minutes, Ambassador Boakai the yard to get prepared for his next appearance. So Ambassador Boakai, who is a state witness into this case, who was subpoenaed by the Monrovia City Court to appear to testify in this matter, did not testify today because the prosecution requested that they should have the original paperwork document, and that will be done as far as. Well, folks, welcome. Let's. Today was another day where justice has been trampled on. It was another waste of time. The Ministry of Justice continues to make a mockery of the system of justice. The judge is doing his best to try to control the movement around. But again, our justice ministry, led by the is denying justice to us, the defendant, by the constant and continual delay of the trial. This is a misdemeanor trial. Normally, at the ministerial level, this is number 30 days. We have gone more than 4 months. Normally, a trial at this level is prosecuted by a state solicitor, not by the chief prosecutor of the country. I keep saying there are more serious crimes, rapes, murders, other things happening. And yet, the Ministry of Justice under President Weah is spending all of this time, all of these resources to prosecute a misdemeanor. It's sad for our country. It is not good for our country. But justice will prevail, the truth will prevail, and we are confident of the outcome of the trial. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So that is it. So how did the day end today?
Well, look, as usual, delayed tactics from the prosecution. It shows that the prosecution is not ready. They want to draw up this trial for a long period. they have some motive. This is persecution. This is not persecution again. So these are the kind of things we are seeing. In fact, the Solicitor General is threatening the sheriff for not having a subpoena served. This is the same sheriff who served subpoena to the same people. This time, because it won't be served, it's heard in open court that we will dismiss it as though the man is not a civil servant. I mean, this is the overbearing, overseeing Solicitor General we have. Two sides of our country.
So, when it's going to be coming back, and what was
well, look, the court, the prosecution filed a motion to have the original framework document that was brought here previously and marked by court to be brought back again so that they will have it for the duration of this trial. We know what that means. To allow the prosecution, Serena Seekers, to hold on to the original framework document for the duration of this trial is a risky business, because even the evidence that he adduced and admitted to us during discovery, you know the story about that. Pages were missing, almost 18 pages. So they admitted to that. So we don't want those kind of things. But the judge ruled that the document must come, and so we resume trial on Wednesday.
All right, thank you so much. So it's going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be on Wednesday. Joseph Human Boakai is now departing the court. Joseph Human Boakai is now departing the court. Along with Ure, they are all departing. Today, Ambassador Joseph Human Boakai came to court, but he did not appear to testify. He had to go back home, get ready for Wednesday, when he is produced by the National Elections Commission. The National Elections Commission is expected to produce on Wednesday, and they will be brought there by the chairperson of the National Elections Commission. So this is the vehicle carrier, Ambassador Joseph in the next couple of minutes, get prepared for his next Ambassador Boakai, who is a state witness in today's case, who was subpoenaed by the Monrovia City Court to appear to testify in this matter. Did not testify today because the prosecution requested that they should have the original framework document, and that will be done as far as it is. So Joseph Human Boakai is now leaving the podium. Today, Liberians expected Ambassador Boakai to appear and testify, but it did not happen. So Boakai has finally left the podium. Those of you who just joined us, this is School TV, and we are staying here around the Court of Justice. So that's okay. So welcome. Happy Ramadan.
Ramadan Ari.
Okay, Ramadan Kareem. How was it? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim?
I'm not discussing my religion.
Okay.
We discuss how you go and then you ready.
So how was
Okay, that is Mo Ali, the Secretary General of the United Party. He doesn't know whether he's a Muslim or Christian or atheist. He's just an opportunist. Wherever the wind blows, he goes. So in court today, when they asked him to testify, he didn't want to touch the Bible or the Quran or anything because he ain't got no religion. He's an opportunist. So these are the people ruling our country. That's why our country can't go straight. These are the criminals and reckless people running our country that need to be in jail. And they need to be in jail. So what can we do about it? How long will these people continue to rip our countries off with the deceitfulness and lies? But as you heard it, Boakai is now a state witness, from statesman to state witness, and he's going to be testifying tomorrow, I think. Yes, when the court gets the document from the CPP, from the National Election Commission. The prosecution petitioned the court for the National Election Commission to send the framework document of the CPP, the collaborating political parties, for the court to review. And the court agreed. So that's why Walker didn't testify today. And that document is supposed to be coming by Wednesday, and it's supposed to be going back to court. And we await that precious moment when Mo Ali here again, with his Muslim dress, supposed to testify. We don't know whether to get a copybook for him to put his hand on to testify. He's not a Muslim. He's not a Christian. So maybe we'll get a comic book for him to put his hand on to testify, because his testimony would be a joke. I rest my case on this topic. So let me take a break right now. My co-editor and co-director and co-everything is standing by to come on so we can get this show going. So let me just get rid of the aspect of sharing this and invite Miss Karen McLaurin Chesson to come by right after I take the break. Welcome to the second part of this show. Yes, Karen is taking her seat. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to get her on her pad. Come on, you can see yourself. Watch yourself in there. Okay, and then look up here. So I tried to get her on her pad, but she just got a new pad and we haven't set it up yet. So the next time she come on for the interview, she'll be on in her pad. So Karen, talk to us about the Buduburam camp now, because you one of the sponsors that been behind all of this thing.
It's quite a delight to be here with you, Rodney. And quite frankly, I'm very excited about what has transpired within the past week at the Buduburam refugee camp. First, I have to thank the several sponsors for their confidence and their interest and commitment to the Buduburam Refugee Camp Initiative, the self-help vocational education initiative. The second piece are the people on the camp, the Friends of Rodney Chesson, who committed themselves to this project and did so with love in their hearts, did so with commitment, did so with a sense of wanting to build a stronger sense of community. These folks now have hope. They saw that conversations turned into action. They saw that getting organized paid off. They saw that regardless of tribal affiliation or ethnicity, that they were able to come together and make things happen on the camp. What things? Beginning the baking school. They came together. When coming together, what does that mean? That means that folks with painting skills, with carpentry skills, folks came together to assist Roland in purchasing items. What does coming together mean? People who had skill sets and professionalism enough to want to come together to begin to teach not just the young people. It's amazing. Not just young girls. We've got young boys. We have adults in the class. It's just amazing on how everybody came together. You know, it's very heartwarming.
That's true.
And, you know, it was all about having confidence in themselves, in each other, and in us. So, you know, the classes began last week, orientation, and the classes, well, the previous week was orientation, and then the classes began. And they saw that the conversations not just turned into action, but, you know, the utilities, the equipment arrived. You know, that's when the dream became real. And the teachers came together and began to discuss what their curriculum was going to be in order to effectively implement the educational aspect of that experience. And, you know, the students were able to see their work product, and they were proud of that as well. So here we are, 2 months after the conversations began, and the school opened last week. So, you know, I'm proud to be associated with this initiative. I am excited about the young people and their enthusiasm, and I'm excited about the teachers and their commitment to this initiative, and the people who are making sure that that all goes well. And I'm also very proud of Roland and his commitment to this initiative and his learning curve, and his dedication to making a difference, not just for himself, but the other people on the refugee camp. So, here we are. We're embarking upon a new week, second week of classes, and hopefully we will soon be in touch with the camp itself. We want you to go onto the website and see the pictures, the reality, see the equipment, see the enthusiasm expressed by the students, and see where that investment has done to change the lives of people across the waters in Ghana, West Africa. So that's the deal. And we hope that you will consider donating to this initiative, because we have 2 other phases to go. We not only had the baking school, which successfully was launched, but we also need to set up the sewing school and the computer literacy school. So, you know, we've taken a chip out of the rock, but we still need to move on and make a difference and implement the other 2 phases of this initiative. So we hope and pray that you will invest and join us in this worthwhile initiative.
Well, thank you, Karen. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you too for watching. And as Karen said, please support this initiative. We have 2 phases. We just completed the first. We go to the second. And we didn't do OU. We didn't do the first with OU. And we will not do the second with OU. So please join us. Cash App, $ Jefferson Chesson. And we hear from you soon. Thank you and have a good morning.
Bye now.